I'm chair of STEP Academy Trust. We're a trust of 14 primary schools across 2 regional hubs, 8 in South London and 6 in East Sussex. The trust has been going for 8 years now. Our mission is that wherever we have the capacity to help, we are morally bound to do so. And that's been the motivation for us to help the schools in our trust. The motivation for me to engage in the Academy Ambassadors program was effectively, it sounds trite, but it's for me to give back. I've worked in the commercial sector in retail, hospitality and banking for over 20 years. Latterly, I've worked in the education sector for about 12 years now. And I felt I wanted to make a difference to our next generation, effectively. My daughter is 16. I wasn't involved in her school in any form or capacity, but I wanted to do more. I wanted to do more for my own community because my time is spent doing work and I needed to do something else within the local community. I was approached by a colleague to join STEP, and it was a fantastic trust. I did my due diligence to make sure it fitted my own values. One, proximity. It was close to where I live as well, which was another box I needed to tick. But yes, purely for me to give back was the key motivation. The benefit of having non-educationalists on a trust and the skills that they bring are exactly the skills that an academy trust need. We talk about people, we talk about systems, we talk about processes, we talk about finance, we talk about strategy, we talk about vision. All of that that we deal with in the commercial public world is exactly what we do in a trust, because all of those aspects are required to effectively manage a trust. So when we recruit trustees to our trust, those are the skill sets and the experience that we look for. We need the stupid questions to be asked. We need our executive team to be challenged, because sometimes they get into their own bubble and only think about what they're doing on a term-by-term basis, for example. But as trustees, we need to think more strategically. The term is eyes on, hands off, and that's exactly how we need to be, but we need to be effective and efficient in the way that we support and challenge our teams. The most rewarding part of being chair of a trust is I've had the opportunity to visit all our schools in the recent past, and just to actually physically go into a classroom and see the behaviour of the children, how they're interacting with the teacher, the quality of reading, and when you look at their books, the quality of their writing as well. When you see them play in the playground rather. Occasionally when I've walked into the playground with the head teacher, the kids just run up to the teacher and they hug her, and it's so wonderful to see how caring and enchanting that they are. And one thing that I always encourage trustees to do is not to become after dark trustees, i.e. to meet in the evenings, to actually spend time, if you can, in the schools, out of a meeting setting, to go in and actually see the children, whether it's primary, secondary, or wherever you are, and actually see and meet them, speak to them, and ask them how safe they feel, how cared they are, how trained or briefed or taught they are, ready to face the big bad world when they go on to further higher education or even a permanent role. If you're thinking of joining a trust as a non-exec director or a trustee, first thing, don't do it because you've been told to do so. Don't do it because it's part of a tick box, a corporate social responsibility box that your organisation wants you to do. It's not worth it then. Don't do it because it looks good in your CV. Do it because you want to do it, because either you've got an affinity with the community or affinity with the schools. Do your due diligence on the trust. Visit the schools, speak to the chief exec, observe one of their meetings to see whether you think there's something you can bring to the party. Your skills will be valued, trust me, they really will. But do it for those reasons. Do it for the reasons that you think you can truly add to the trust.